Good morning, traders. It's Perry Wolke with StartupTrading.com. It is 8 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, July 29th. Boy, this month has gone quick. So, looking back at yesterday's session, right, uh, just come back down into the next long setup. And it took all day really for it to get there. Jack was watching his entry all day and it just kind of basing around there. And then the last few minutes of the day, it finally come up and started catching it. And then the overnight session, it's just continued on its merry way. So we'll see what today brings next. But this is one of the reasons I wanted to really stay away from yesterday. I didn't think that there was a lot of opportunity for the day, and if unless you held on to the end and were able to uh, swing it overnight or get back in it, it was very difficult entry yesterday. So as not that the entry was hard, it was just hard seeing the reward, I guess. So as you look at where we're at now, we've got 64.28 half is yesterday's point of control. We're above that right now at 64.35, so about 6.5 points above there. See if that gets a check back, and then below that is 63.89 half, which is that'd only be about a 50-point drop, so that's well on the table as well, 45 points or whatever. Uh, as we look at where we're at, we're still on that impulse move higher, right? So nothing to stop that at this point in time or think that it's stopping. No sense in doing that. We have to take out the previous day's low and stay below it, and then we'll see. Maybe I think Jack was doing the 38.2 of the high to high yesterday. See if we get the 50 or the 61.8 tomorrow with FOMC. But today, our catalyst will be at 10 o'clock. That'll be JOLTS. That's the title of my video. Don't forget, that's been a non volatile event for basically the last year, maybe 14 months. But when it does get volatile from that event, it can be rip roaring. So we'll have to see. Obviously, that will be if it's a real big outlier, that will be something the Fed will have to consider tomorrow. Uh, the odds are, nothing's happening tomorrow, right? Only a small chance, and we'll see, what happens with that. So, after, catching that bid yesterday, and it was really, we'll get into positioning here in a minute. It was really that, that Jack's 38.2, and really, 60, we'll get into positioning in a minute. But we are right at yesterday's high for the Russell. We did not get over yesterday's high for the Dow, right? A little bit weaker. It's just right back in the middle, right at the settlement, right at that point of control. Um, the ES is uh, really been in a tight range in the overnight session. You're looking at, you know, 19 and a quarter points for the ES in the overnight session. You're looking at just right around 100 points, 110 points for the NASDAQ in the overnight session. So very, you know, still holding that high and tight. We got a little bit of overhead supply that has built up for the overnight session. We'll see if that gets corrected or not. And then as we look at, before I go there, let's just walk through that again. Uh, so still watching the split from yesterday at right around 22.75 for the Russell. And then downside targets profile wise will just be to get the you know 384 and then really the 330 to 252 will be the downside targets if we end up actually getting a pivot today, right? Traders start taking some profit going into FOMC tomorrow, and getting into some bigger setups. Usually, we will have a little bit of range expansion today to help set up tomorrow for a little bit more volatility potentially. All right, let's get into that positioning. So 6,400 on the cash market, right? We closed under, we swept over it. This thick line is basically around where it is right now at the 64.32 level. We're trading right at it right now. So we keep coming back to the 64, so 100 on the cash market. Yesterday we uh, basically went down to 63.75, so just 25 points under it and then back, up again. But you can see that we're really not getting anything over it. Keep in mind, if you scrunch these down, you can see the resistance is at 6,500 now. It doesn't mean we're hitting there, but and then we have the JPM strikes up there as well. But we do have room to move on the cash market up to 6,500 at any point, you know, in the near future. Uh, and then looking at the SPY the same way. So uh, 640 is still your call wall. That has not moved up, right? We're trading 638 right now, so that would be 20 handles higher on the ES. So if you add that up, that's going to be 64.53 half right around. Uh, just think about 64.50, basically 52 maybe. But that's where that 640 is going to come in. And then the day lid is higher than the long-term lid. That's at 643. That would be another 30 points higher if we go up there. That's what your room is. But that's going to be for the week right now. And then at the bottom side, your support for the week is at 625. So again, you're closer to these. It doesn't mean you should just go out and short the market, but you're a lot closer to these resistance levels than you are to these support levels for profile or for positioning, sorry. And then, but basically, you just have to watch this 6,400 first. And then, of course, everyone and their brother is going to have stops under that low from yesterday at 63.75. And then you got that little bit of a gap up from Wednesday's close to Thursday's open. And you know, I wouldn't put too much weight onto that right now, but what I'd be looking for is maybe an undercut of yesterday's low at some point today, and then we'll have to see if we build time and volume under there, or if that if you want to get cocky, right? That's where you would look for. Your reversal signals, right? You want to see there. Obviously, if we take out those lows, there's going to be some poor structure to the downside. You want to see if that poor structure gets removed back up, and then but what I'd be watching for is structural reversals in this area, and I don't know how much you'll get to scalp for, but I would say that if you take that out, there should be a good 10 points uh, that would be on the table. Not that that's a lot, but it probably be the better trade to be honest with you. Just something short and sweet. So what I'm watching for on the rest of it is that, yesterday's low, of course, that we just talked about. And let's get into the Qs. So the lid for the Qs is, right, we're above the lid, right? So 570, we're trading 570.37. You can, hold above that, play keep away, but that should have been resistance. So if we fall back under this level, you're only looking at $2 going down to 568. That is the support for the day. That is the put. That is the I'm sorry. That's the resistance for the day. That's your call wall for the day. So you need to get under that as well. So you're looking at both of these. So you're looking at basically that's going to take you right back to the gap fill. That's right around where this is. So that's probably on the table at some point today that we're going to see that gap fill, since that should have been the lid for today. And then if we look at where the bottoms are, the bottom for the day is supposed to be at 560. So right now we're trading 570. So 560 is going to be right down at 23,151. So you shouldn't be chasing. If we do, start accelerating to the downside for whatever, we get a little bit of a pullback finally. That's where you should be calling it a day. Is probably short of that at some point in time. But again, you've got to watch. So your markers that I'll be watching basically for positioning is the 6400 and then this 570 and 568 to see if they give way to the downside. Otherwise, I'm probably not interested in trading today either. I don't want to chase longs up here. We're not, we got the catalyst tomorrow. You can get a Fed drift going into FOMC, but to be honest with you, I'd rather make zero money than chase longs today. I have absolutely no interest in chasing longs above the call wall. Uh, it's just not usually fruitful, and we're going to get a bigger reversal um, here this week, more than likely, and I'll rather wait on that. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.